Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Good morning, everyone. So today is August 12, 2026. So we are going to conduct at least 2 activity today for procurement. Ito po yung pre-bid conference and then the opening of bids. So actually, we will start on the opening of bids. So we'll be opening 3 contract and we'll be having a pre-bid conference for 2 contract right after we finish our opening of bid. So we prioritize first the opening of bid. So again, let us first establish a quorum. Of course, with me as the chairperson, Engineer Panarayon, or OAC Chief Assurance, Quality Assurance Section, or Vice Chairperson. Ma'am, good morning. Engineer Witz Rodriguez, a regular member from Construction Section. Good morning, sir. Engineer Tin Simanes, a provisional member, Quality Assurance Section representative. Good morning, ma'am. Of course, Engineer Eva Clarino, our head of Bank Secretary. Of course, together with the member, we have here Sir JP Albay. Good morning, sir. Ma'am Saanang Rogado, ma'am, good morning. Engineer Cecilio Chavez, good morning, ma'am. Engineer Cha Madrid, good morning, ma'am. Ma'am Lois Vilenzo, good morning. Engineer Carl Ramirez, good morning, sir. Engineer Franz Laurin, good morning, sir. Sir Larry Frias, our computer operator, and of course, Engineer Carlo Portes, our support services. Of course, to our YouTube viewers, good morning likewise. And then we have here 2 representatives from contractor, Omega Contracting Firm. Okay, sige ma'am, welcome again to our bidding to this 3 contract. So again, since we already have a quorum, we now start our activity. So this is opening of bid for 3 contract items. So before we open the bid box, so let me first read to you the result since nandito na po siya. The result for the eligibility check. This is for contract ID 26 FA0029. Contract name CSSP BIP Multipurpose Building is last facilities to support services. Construction of multipurpose building, Barangay Hall, Barangay San Bernardo, Tiwi, Albay, with the coordinates of 13.43092 north latitude and 123.65638 east longitude. The location of the contract is at Tiwi, Albay. So based on the evaluation of the information about legal, technical, and financial capabilities as indicated in the contractor's information of the bidders as recorded in our computerized registry of contractors for civil work, the requirements of the above-mentioned contract as indicated in the contract profile submitted by the DPWH Albay First District Engineering Office, we find one or single bidder eligible to participate in the bidding for the contract. So this is Omega Contracting and Development Corporation. So this is the result of the eligibility check. So meaning we only have one bidder or lone bidder. So let me now open the So we now open and read the technical proposal submitted by the loan bidder. Go ahead.
Copy of the bidding documents for the contract ID 0029 with a contract name CSSP BIP Multipurpose Buildings, Facilities to Support Services, Construction of Multipurpose Building, Barangay Hall, Barangay San Bernardo, Tiwi, Albay. coordinates of 13.43092 and 123.65638 with the ABC of 7,920,000 pesos. Contract duration 180 calendar days. Date of opening August 12, 2026. Time starts at 10:19 a.m. So we have the loan leader is Omega Contracting and Development Corporation. Yung JEPS registration. Certificate of Incorporation. Mayor's permit. Tax lien certificate. Pickup license. AFS. And annual income tax return submitted to AFS. Fees of ongoing contracts. SLCC with attached notice of award, certificate of completion, certificate of turnover and completion, and acceptance. From BSB, it's organizational chart. List of personnel with their qualification date. Key personnel collaborative committed to work on the contract. Project manager Omar C. Octemia and another. Project engineer Maria Lorraine Satueto Octemia. Sign and authorize. APR's license and PE accreditation. Materials engineer Kimberly Barsaga. Sign and authorized. APR's license and ME accreditation. Safety officer Christian J. Opemia. Sign and authorized with certificate. Foreman Arnel Montuya. These are major construction and laboratory equipment development.
Yan talagang init dito. Mga so palsit. Tanggalin.
Equipment rental agreement. DEO 11, sign authorized, sworn statement or certification under oath, integrity pledge, construction method, manpower schedule, omnibus, sign and authorized. Secretary certificate. ISO certificate. Secretary certificate. And an authorized. NFCC sign. General.
The technical proposal submitted by Omega Constructing and Development Corporation for contract ID 26 episode 029 as passed. So the loan bidder is passed. So we now open the financial proposal or the second envelope of Mega Contracting.
We're opening a financial document of Omega Contracting and Development Corporation. Bill of quantity, form sign, cash flow, with amount 7,761,646 pesos and 50 centavos.
So the financial proposal submitted by Omega Contracting and Development Corporation for contract ID 26 episode 029 is passed. Again, the result as read for this contract is still subject for further bid evaluation and post-qualification. So we now continue opening the second contract. Contract ID 26 0029. Oh, 30. So let me read to you first the result of the eligibility check for this contract. So this is contract ID number 26FA0030, contract name 001, Network Development Program, Road Widening, Secondary Road, Daang Maharlika Junction, Legazpi, Domingo, Tabaco, Camarines, Sur Boundary Road, K0564 plus 454 to K0565 to plus 000. Location of the contract is Malinaw at Malinaw, Albay. So based on the evaluation of the information about legal, technical, and financial capabilities, as indicated, the contractor's information of the bidders as recorded in our computer's registry of contractor for civil work. So the requirements for the above-mentioned contract is as indicated in the contract profile submitted by DPWH Albay First District Engineering Office. We find 3 bidders eligible to participate in the bidding for the contract. Number 1, Sunro Builders Incorporated. Number 2, RMH Construction and Supply. And number 3 is 8AR Construction Development Corporation. So we have 3 papers of the bidders are this. So let us now open and read the first envelope. So, Ma'am Cha, go ahead po.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Opening of the bidding documents for the contract ID 26FA0030 for the contract name 001 Network Development Program. Road Widening, Secondary Roads, Daang Maharlika Junction, Legazpi, Santo Domingo, Tabaco, Camarines, Sur Boundary Road, K0564 plus 454 to K0565 plus 000 with an ABC of 36,761,646 757,840 pesos. Contract duration 248 calendar days. Date of opening August 12, 2026. Times starts at 10:29 a.m. First bidder is RMH Construction and Supply. From Jeps Industry. DTI. Mayor's Permit. Tax Clearance Certificate. AFS. Annual income tax return submitted to EFPS. Please of ongoing contracts. SLCC. With attached notice of award. NTP. Contract agreement. Final acceptance, inspection report, COC. And certificate of acceptance. Form bid as D. Signed and notarized. Organizational chart. List of personal border qualification date. People sila affidavit of commitment to work on the contract. Project Manager Hannah May Espedido. Signed and notarized. Project Engineer Eliezer Navera. PRC license. And PE accreditation. Materials Engineer Eileen Dubon. Signed and authorized with PRC license. And the accreditation. Foreman Roberto Garcias. Signed and authorized. Safety Officer Roberto Lutino. Signed and authorized. With certificate. List of equipment and laboratory equipment. Assigned to the contract. All owned and under lease. Proof of ownership. Patching plant accreditation. Lease contract agreement. DO1, ADO11, or 1 Omnibus. Signed and notarized. ISO certificate. FCC. Signed. DO9. Signed. Affidavit of disclosure of no relationship. Ability pledge. State line declaration.
Other technical documents submitted by RMH Construction and Supply for contract ID 26 FSC 030.
Next bidder is HR. HR Construction and Development Purpose. Gypsy Disposition. Certificate of Incorporation. This Mayor's Permit. Certificate. Pickup License. AFS. Annual Income Tax Return submitted to the FTS. Release of ongoing contracts. It's LCC with a birth certificate of acceptance, final acceptance and inspection report. Form with BSD, sign and notarize. Organizational chart. List of personnel with a qualification data. Statement of availability of key personnel and equipment. Key personnel affidavit committed to the contract project manager Arnold Bermundo. Sign and authorize. Project engineer Wilfredo Bigol. Sign and authorize with PRC license and PE accreditation. Materials engineer Nivard Serrano. Sign and authorize with ME accreditation and PRC license. Safety officer BJB Belen. Sign and authorize. Birth certificate foreman Vicky Siroma. Sign and authorized. List of contractors, major construction and laboratory equipment to be assigned to the contract, owned and under lease. Proof of ownership. Vaccine plant accreditation. Certification of availability of leased equipment. Lease contract agreement. Omnibus, signed and dated. Secretary certificate. DO9. ISO certificate. GIS. NFCC, signed.
So the technical documents submitted by 8AR Construction Development Corporation for Contract ID 26 FA0030 passed.
Next bidder, or the last bidder for this contract is Sando Builders Incorporated. Reject registration. Mayor's permit. Tax clearance certificate. Pickup license. Annual income tax return and the year has to be to EFDS. Lease of ongoing contracts. SLCC. With a certificate of completion, certificate of turnover and completion, certificate of acceptance, FCIR. KNU assessment. From with BSD, signed and notarized. Organizational chart. List of personnel with their qualification data, project manager, Susan Borse, signed and notarized. Project engineer, Rosel Jamin, Woodson, signed and notarized. PRC license. Materials engineer, Francisco Nare. Signed and authorized with PRC license and ME accreditation. Foreman, Elmer Carrillo. Signed and authorized. Safety officer, Rosel Adel Burses. Signed and authorized with certificate. List of contractors, major construction laboratory equipment assigned to the contract. Owned and under lease. Proof of ownership. Lease agreement of batching plant accreditation. Omnibus, sign and authorize. Secretary certificate. ISO certificate. GIS. NFCC sign, DEO 9. DEO 11.
So the technical proposal submitted by Sandro Builders Incorporated for contract ID 26 F003 is passed. So based from our preliminary examination of envelope 1 for this week, Bacacay, so actually all of them passed our preliminary examination. So we now open the second envelope or the financial proposal submitted by these three respective leaders. So please go ahead po. Thank you.
Opening of the financial component for the contract ID 26FA003. First bidder, RMH Construction and Supply. Bid form. Sign. Bill of quantities. Sign. Detailed estimate. Number bid prices. Cash flow with amount 36,718,638 pesos and 20 centavos.
The financial proposal submitted by RMH Construction and Supply for contract ID 26FA003 is passed.
Next bidder, 8R Construction and Development Corporation. Bid form, sign. Bill of quantities. Sign. Bid of estimate. Cash flow with amount 35,895,132 pesos and 43 centavos. 895 95
The financial proposal submitted by AKR Construction and Development Corporation for contract ID 26FA003 is passed.
Next bidder or the last bidder for this contract is Sandro Builders Incorporated. Bid form. Bill of quantities. Sign. Detailed estimate. Cash flow with amount 35,783,571 pesos and 14 centavos.
So the financial proposal submitted by Sandro Builders Incorporated for contract ID 26FA003 is passed. So may box culvert din. Ipo. So again, the result as read for this contract 26F0036 still subject for further evaluation and post qualification. So we now continue with the last contract ID 26F0031. So again, before we open the bid box, let me first read to you the result. The eligibility check. This is for contract ID 26FA0031. Contract name CSSP, BIP, Multipurpose Building, Facilities to Support Services. Construction of multipurpose building, covered court, convertible to evacuation center, Barangay Kanaway, Malilipot, Albay. The coordinates of 13.319226 north latitude and 123.714339 east longitude. Location of contract is at Malilipot, Albay. So based on the evaluation of the information about legal, technical, and financial capabilities as indicated in contractors' information of the bidders as recorded in our computerized registry of contractors for civil work, the requirements of the above-mentioned contract as indicated in the contract profile submitted by the DPWH Albay First District Engineering Office, we found 2 bidders eligible to participate in the bidding for the contract. So number 1, 8AR Construction and Development Corporation, and number 2 is Omega Constructing and Development Corporation. So let me first open the box. Now Ma'am Shop, please go ahead with the technical
Printing of the bidding documents for the contract ID 26FA0031 for the contract name CSSP, BIP, Multipurpose Buildings or Facilities to Support Services, Construction of Multipurpose Building, Covered Court, Convertible to Evacuation Center, Barangay Kanaway, Malilipot, Albay, with the coordinates of 13.319226 and 123.714339 with the ABC of 11,880,000 pesos. Contract duration 200 calendar days. Date of opening August 12, 2026. Time starts at 10:47 a.m. First bidder for this contract is Omega Contracting and Development Corporation. Rules of registration. Certificate of Incorporation. Mayor's permit. Tax clearance certificate. The license. Annual income tax return. And AMS using 8 TPS. List of ongoing contracts. SLCC with attached notice of award, certificate of completion, certificate of turnover and completion, and certificate of acceptance. From BSD and authorized. organizational chart, list of personnel with their qualification data. Key person affidavit of commitment to work on the contract, project manager, Omar C. Camille, sign and authorize. Project engineer Kimberly Barsaga, sign and authorize with PRC license and DE accreditation. Materials engineer Maria Lorraine Satueto of Premier, sign and authorize with PRC license and ME accreditation. Safety officer Jomar of Premier, sign and authorize with certificate. Foreman Eric Ciprilia, sign and authorize. List of contractors, major construction laboratory equipment to be assigned to the contract. Own and under lease. Proof of ownership. Equipment rental agreement. DEO 9, sign and authorize. DEO 11. Sworn statement, certification under indemnity pledge. Omnibus. Sign and authorize. Secretary's certificate. ISO certificate. GIS. Secretary's certificate. NFCC sign.
So the technical component submitted by Omega Contracting and Development Corporation for contract ID 26 0031 is passed.
Next bidder or last bidder for this contract is HR Construction and Development Corporation. In-depth registration. Certificate of incorporation. Here's permit, pickup license, AFS, annual income tax return submitted to EFS, and ongoing contracts, SLCC with attached final acceptance and inspection report, certificate of acceptance. From a bid BSD, sign and authorize. Organizational chart, list of personnel with their qualification data, statement of availability of key personnel and equipment. Key person affidavit of commitment to work on the contract, project manager Arnold Bernardo, sign and authorize. Project engineer Wilbert de Bigol, sign and authorize with PRSA license and PE accreditation. Materials engineer Nivard Serrano, with PRSA license and ME accreditation. Safety officer BJ Bilen, sign and authorized. Fireman Nikki Siroma, sign and authorized. List of contractors, major construction laboratory equipment to be assigned to the contract, owned and under lease. Proof of ownership. Certification of availability of this contract agreement, omnibus, sign and authorize. Secretary certificate, ISO certificate, DO9, QAS, NFCC.
So the technical documents submitted by 8AR Construction Development Corporation for contract ID 26 FA0031 is passed. So again, based on our preliminary investigation or preliminary examination of the first envelope, these two contractors, so All of them passed the preliminary examination. And so we now open the second envelope for the financial proposal submitted by these two. Please go ahead, po. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Opening of the financial components for the contract ID 26FA0031. First bidder, Omega Contracting and Development Corporation. Bid form. Sign. Secretary certificate. Bill of quantity signed. Bid of estimate. Cash flow bid amount. 11,756,748 pesos and 30 centavos.
The financial proposal submitted by Omega Contracting and Development Corporation for contract ID 26 F0031 is passed.
Next bidder or the last bidder? This contract is 8R Construction and Development Corporation. Bid form, signed, bill of quantities, signed, bid of estimate, cash flow bid amount, 11,523,607 pesos and 51 centavos.
So the financial proposal submitted by 8AR Construction and Development Corporation for contract ID 26 F0031 is passed. So again, the result as read for this contract is still subject for further bid evaluation or for post qualification. So I guess this concludes our opening of bid for today for the three contract ID 26 F00 29 30 and 31. So with that, thank you so much, viewers, to our contractors representative who are present here right now to the back room. Thank you, ma'am, for attending. And of course, to the back member, to the back set members. So good morning. Thank you so much and God bless us. Once again, good morning. So, at this point in time, today is August 12, 2026. So, we are going now to conduct a pre-bid conference for the two contract ID, the contract ID 26 FS0034 and 26 FS0035. So, I guess we no need of establishing a quorum because I guess the attendees during our opening of bid are just the same. Of course, with addition with Ma'am Colette, our back member, beautiful back member, additional po siya as attendees for this private conference. So, without further ado, let us now start the our conference. Our private conference. So, may I call in now Ma'am Colette to please read to us the invitation to bid for our contractor to be reminded for the special mga instructions. So, thank you, Ma'am.
Good morning everyone. Invitation to bid for 26 FA0034 CSSP VIP multipurpose building facilities to support services. Construction of multipurpose building, corporate for convertible to evacuation center, Barangay Panarayon, Bacacay, Albay. The DPWH Albay first DEO through GAA 2026 intends to apply the sum of 11,880,000 being the approved budget for the contract. The completion of the work is required 200 calendar days. The contract should be awarded to the lowest calculated bidder, lowest calculated responsive bidder who was determined as such during the post-qualification. Prospective bidder should be registered with and classified by the PICAB with license category with classification at the size range small b. Bidder should have completed within 10 years from the date of submission and receipt of bids a contract similar to the project. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens or proprietorship cooperatives and partnership or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines. The bidder must have completed an SLCC that is similar to the procurement project to be bid and whose value must be equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC. Further, the contractors under small a small b categories without similar experience on the procurement project to be bid may be allowed to bid if the cost of such contract is not more than the allowable range of contract costs of their registration based on the guidelines as prescribed by the PICAB. Also, bidders and FCC must be at least equal to the ABC to be bid. Contractors, applicants who wish to participate in the bidding are encouraged to enroll in the DPWH CIVILWORKS application, DPWH Procurement Service, while those already enrolled shall keep their records current and updated. The contract's eligibility to bid on the project will be determined using the DPWH contractor profile eligibility process and subject to further post-qualification. Information on registration and can be obtained from the procurement service during working weekdays from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. or at the DPWH website. Interested bidders may obtain further information from DPWH Albay first DEO and inspect the bidding documents at the address given below from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders on August 1 to 7, 2026 from the address below and upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPB in the amount of 25,000. Prospective bidders shall present the original official receipt of payment for bid documents to the back secretariat of this office before the deadline for inclusion in the list of contractors for eligibility processing. The owner or authorized representatives included in the CRC will be allowed to transact business relative to the bidding matters per DO 197 series of 2001. Those representatives not included in the CRC are required to submit special power of attorney or secretary certificate, whichever is applicable, and one valid government ID for the owner and representative to be allowed to transact business. All participating bidders must be in the documents request list of the PhilJEP's website. Bids must be duly received by the Bids and Awards Committee Secretary through manual submission at the address indicated below on or before August 24, 2026, 10 a.m. Late bid shall not be accepted. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and the amount stated in ITB Clause 16. Bid opening shall be on August 24, 2026, 10:01 a.m. onwards, Procurement Unit Conference Room. In compliance with Department Order Number 169, Series of 2025, Guidelines on the Accreditation and Assignment of Contractors and Consultants Project Engineers, it is hereby ordered to follow the full implementation and assigning only qualified and competent project engineers of the contractors and consultants in the DPWH projects. Hence, the submitted bids must contain key personnel, particularly project engineer, which are accredited by DPWH. The DPWH Albay reserves the right to reject any and or all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award a contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA number 12009 without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information, please refer to Michael A. Respeto, Chief Construction Section of DEO. The minimum work experience requirements for key personnel are the following: Project Manager 5, Project Engineer / Professional Engineer 1, Materials Engineer 1, Construction Foreman 1. This qualification applies if the pledged personal target project handler does not meet the required 50% of the ABC. The minimum major equipment requirements are the following: 1 service truck, 1 bagger mixer, 1 plate compactor, 1 welding machine, 1 concrete vibrator, 1 cutting outfit. Modifying the list of requirements to be pledged or non-compliant as to required equipment and number of units in the BDS is considered as incomplete bid and a ground for disqualification. Strictly compliant requirements are prescribed under DEO 58 Series of 2012, inclusion of material data on the pledged equipment of a bidder in his bid documents. DEO 11 Series of 2017, inclusion of the minimum materials testing equipment in the technical component of the bid. Additional contract documents required for the contract: 1 construction methods, 2 construction schedule in the form of per CPM diagram or precedence diagram and bar chart with S-curve or other approved tools of project scheduling and cash flow, 3 manpower schedule for equipment utilization schedule, 5 construction safety and health program, 6 contractors all risk insurance. That's all.
So thank you so much, Ma'am Kulit. So leaders, please take note of all those reminders. So we come now to the DED or the Detailed Engineering Plan. So may I call in Sir Witz to discuss with us or to discuss with you. Thank you.
Good morning. So for 26 FA 0034, a detailed engineering design plan for project name CSSP, BIP, multipurpose buildings / facilities to support services, construction of multipurpose building, covered court convertible to evacuation center, Barangay Panarayon, Bacacay, Albay, with coordinates of 13.3078169 north latitude, 123.776435 east longitude. So next, please. So here's the perspective of the vicinity map along with the summary of quantities for the project. So meron po ang key items niya are construction of field offices for engineer, permits and clearances, permanent monuments and markers, project billboard and signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization and demobilization, temporary fence, tapos earthwork, structure excavation, common soil, embankment for roadway structure excavation, common soil, embankment from barrow, common soil, gravel fill. For the reinforced concrete, structural concrete, 3,000 PSI, Class A, 28 days. Clean concrete, this is for the foundation. Reinforcing steel, deformed, grade 40, formworks and false work. For the finishing and other civil works, soil poisoning, catch basin, concrete, storm drainage and downspout, fabricated metal accessories for sagrad, gauge 26 ridge roll and hip rolls. For the flashing and corrugated roof frame, pre-painted metal sheets, 4.27 thickness, corrugated long span, cement plain finish, plaster finish, painting works for steel, CHB 100 mm, louver blocks, metal structure accessories for bolts and rods, turnbuckles, sadrads, cross bracing, and steel plates, and structural steel for trusses and purlins. For the electrical works, conduits, box and fittings, wires and wire, panel board, and main branch breaker, and a lighting fixture. So, wala siyang concrete painting. Next please. So, ito na po yung location map niya. So, oops. Yung tema yun. Kevin Moore. Palaging na. So, it will be located sa Barangay Panarayon. Next. So, ito yung monuments and marker na palagi namin pinabanggit. For purposes for the geotagging purposes and then GPS. Next. The floor plan will consist of 30 by 19. So, with may mga 6 meters span. Next. Ito yung right side elevation. Next. Left side elevation. Next. Rear elevation. Anyway, ang composed nito is 49 pages. So, next please. So, yung general notes, please take note general notes for the structural works. Next. Ito na, general construction art, so mga bending, tapos splicing ng bar ends and wall grids. Next. So, foundation plan. Ito yung foundation plan niya. Next. And then tip to slab on grade. Tapos putting detail. So, yung mga column schedule din natin. Tapos yung isolated putting schedule. Next. Ito yung putting tie beam detail section. Please take note na included na rin po dito sa plan yung yung cutting list ng mga bakal natin for beams, columns, and one. Next. Ito yung sa electrical, yung general load schedule niya, general notes, tapos yung mga detail ng panel board natin, yung riser diagram, tapos yung LED height, bay light, fixture mounting detail. Next. Ito yung lighting layout natin, which composed of 5 highlight, tapos yung 10 lights sa gilid. Next. Yung power layout natin. Next. Yung short circuit diagram calculation. Next. For the plumbing, ito yung catch basin detail natin. And yung ibang general notes pa. Next. So ito yung layout ng mga catch basin natin. Tapos yung termination din going out palabas main drainage system. Next. Yeah. Anyway, you can download all 49 pages sa sheets sa field jobs natin. So please take note now. Thank you.
So again, readers, please take note of all those reminders. So any additional information, our procurement engineer, Ma'am Eva?
Good morning po. So, i-remind ko din lahat ng prospective bidders doon sa pickup or contractor's license nito, please update it. Kasi
Yes.
ang evaluation nga natin dapat until the completion of the projects. Pero dito dati sa atin sa procurement, ang inano na lang natin siguro sir, until post ko siguro or notice of award dapat ano din sila. Pero as a whole talaga, kasi may mga bidders na mag-i-expire yun pag inabot kayo ng post-qualification na expired yun.
So, kailangan
Grounds for
updated sila.
post-disqualification po natin yun sa
Okay. Ito nga ang perspective. Make your
license updated all the time.
CWA updated
Opo.
all the time.
Then yung similar category of work, please be guided also accordingly in relation to your license din.
SLCC,
Opo.
SLCC, yung mga laging nagkakaroon ng
Kalimutan. Then sir, yung may mga ano pa din tayo doon sa mga, may mga konti lang akong natin-check doon sa mga list of ongoing projects. Tapos nang may nakalagay sila sir doon na completed na. So ano yung ano natin?
Oo nga.
Dapat.
Paano na rin?
Update natin.
na lang?
Kasi
Pa-update
i-grounds
na lang
natin
nila.
yun. In the future, i-grounds natin siya. Kasi nakalagay doon,
Para-
list of all ongoing projects, private or government projects. Pero yung hindi sila.
Nakalagay pa rin na
Yes.
completed.
Mahirap sa ating part na mag-post ko tayo ng ganun pagkakaano. So, maybe
So, siguro kung ano talaga ang nararapat na gawin,
gagawin natin yung
Dapat,
pagka
kung hindi
pag-post
naman
ko.
kailangan doon sa documents, why
Be aware na
include?
maging malinis lahat ng submission ng documents po, lahat ng prospective bidders, yun lang po ang ating
Yun lang
request.
parati ang reminders natin. Request, reminders, which is, ano naman talaga nila yan? Parang mandate na rin nila yan. As contractor, kailangan, they are all aware of the
Responsive
government.
talaga. Kasi pag hindi
Aware and
responsive, i-grant
responsive.
natin sila.
So, any other?
Yun.
So, yun lang. So, we now proceed with the second contract. Contract ID 26, FA0030. Right. So, go ahead, ma'am.
Invitation to bid for 26 FA 0035 001 Bridge Program, Rehabilitation, Major Repair of Permanent Bridges, Sula Bridge along Santo Domingo, Buhatan-Cagraray Circumferential Rd. The DPWH Albay first due through GAA 2026 intends to apply the sum of 10,084,200 being the approved budget for the contract. Completion of the works required 130 calendar days. The contract shall be awarded to the lowest calculated bidder, lowest calculated responsive bidder, who was determined as such during post-qualification. Prospective bidder should be registered with and classified with the PCAB with license category at least size range small b. Bidder should have completed within 10 years from the date of submission and receipt of bids a contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particulars in section 2, instruction to bidders. 2. That the prospective bidder shall submit its valid and updated field check certificate of registration pursuant to the requirements provided in section 20 in the IR of RA 12009. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens or proprietorship, cooperatives, and partnership or organization with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines. The bidder must have completed an SLCC that is similar to the procurement project to be bid and whose value must be equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC. Further, the contractors under small a and small b categories without similar experience of the procurement project to be bid may be allowed to bid if the cost of such contract is not more than the allowable range of contract cost of their registration based on the guidance prescribed by the PCAB. Also, bidders and FCC must be at least equal to the ABC to be bid. Contractors, applicants who wish to participate in this bidding are encouraged to enroll in the DPWH CIVILWORKS application procurement service, while those already enrolled shall keep their records current and updated. The contractor's eligibility to be bid on the project will be determined using the DPWH contractor profile eligibility process and subject to further post-qualification. Information and registration can be obtained from the procurement service during weekdays from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. or at the DPWH website. Interested bidders may obtain further information from Albay First DEO and inspect the bidding documents at the address below from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders on August 1 to 24 from the address given, and upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents in the amount of 25,000. Prospective bidders should present their original official receipt of payment for the documents to the back secretary of this office before the deadline for inclusion in the list of contractors' eligibility processing. The owner of authorized representatives included in the CRC will be allowed to transact business relative to the bidding matters per DO 197 series of 2001. Those representatives not included in the CRC are required to submit a special power of attorney or secretary certificate, whichever is applicable, and one valid government ID for the owner and representative to be allowed to transact business. All participating biddings must be in the documents request list of the PhilChap's website. Bids must be duly received by the back secretary through manual submission at the address indicated below on or before August 24, 2026, 10 a.m. Late fee shall not be accepted. Bid opening shall be on August 24, 10:01 onwards at the procurement unit conference room Albay First DO. In compliance with Department Order Number 169, Series of 2025, Guidelines on the Accreditation and Assignment of Contractors, and consultants project engineers, it is hereby ordered to follow the full implementation on assigning only qualified and competent project engineers of the contractors and consultants in the DPWH projects. Hence, the submitted bids must contain key personnel, particularly project engineer, which are accredited by the DPWH. The DPWH Albay firstly reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not allow the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA number 12009, without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information, please refer to Michael A. Espedo, Chief Construction Section of by First DEO. The minimum work experience requirements for key personnel are the following: project manager 5, project engineer, provision engineer 1, materials engineer 1, construction foreman 1. This qualification applies if the pledged personnel charges project handler does not meet the required 50% of the ABC. The minimum nature equipment requirements are the following: air compressor 1, backhoe 1, cargo truck 1, concrete vibrator 1, crawler crane with bucket 1, dump truck 1, generator set 2, chuck hammer 1 bagger mixer 2, welding machine 1. Modifying the list of requirements to be pledged or non-compliant as to required equipment and the number of bidders in the BDS is considered as incomplete bid and a ground for disqualification. Strictly compliant requirements prescribed under DO 58 series of 2012, inclusion of material data on the pledged equipment of a bidder in its bid documents. DO 11 series of 2017, inclusion of the minimum materials testing equipment in the technical component of the bid. Additional contract documents required for the contract. 1. Construction methods. 2. Construction schedule in the form of per CPM diagram, precedence diagram, and bar chart with S-curve or other approved tools of project scheduling and cash flow. 3. Manpower schedule. 4. Equipment utilization schedule. 5. Construction safety and health program. 6. Contractors' all-risk insurance.
So thank you so much, Ma'am Sula. So to continue with, let me call in Sir Wicks to discuss with us the DEG, the Detailed Engineering.
Okay, good morning again. For the detailed engineering design plan for 26FA0035, 001 Bridge Program Rehabilitation / Major Repair of Permanent Bridges, Sula Bridge with Bridge ID B04817LC along Santo Domingo, Buhatan-Cagraray Circumferential Road. The station limits is this is the bridge station limit of K0557 plus 556 with a total bridge length of 264.7 meters and bridge width of 6.9 meters. Next, please. So for the index of flowing, please take note, we have 21 sheets. Next. So for the location map, and the vicinity map, it is the Sula Bridge connecting the mainland Luzon to the Cagraray Island. Next. So general notes for the construction repair of the bridge. Please take note of this general notes because included din dito yung mga sa plano natin, included din yung mga methodology and sequence of work for the bridge repair. Next. So for the monumenting, please take note, during the construction na lang po, since ang bridge po kasi may monument and markers lang, this monument will only mark the project, yung items na done sa project. So since ang majority ng repair is nasa ilalim po. Next. For the summary quantities, so ang pay items po natin, yung gagawin din ng contractor is for the facilities of engineer, construction of field office for the engineer, sa other general requirements, permanent monuments and marker, project billboards and signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization and demobilization, for the earthwork, clearing and grabbing, removal of structure and obstruction, surplus common excavation, embankment from borrow common soil. For the bridge construction or for the repair, reinforcing steel grade 40, reinforcing steel grade 60, structural concrete class A with 20.68 megapascal 14 days curing, tightening and retightening high tension bolt, paint for the steel structures, Carbon fiber, 1 layer, with specification of typo SCH41, carbon fiber with typo SFC. Tapos, epoxy injection and crack, patching type B, exposed rebar, using polymer cement mortar. For the drainage and slope protection structures, grouted riprap class A, stone masonry. For miscellaneous structures is the regulatory sign, 600 mm. 600
Excuse me.
mm. Plus R64. Miscellaneous sign, 600 mm. Okay, next, please. So for the general elevation retrofitting works, so makita naman po naka-highlight po dito yung abutment A natin, abutment B, and pier 1, 2, 3, 4. So yung bridge repair work, scope of work for the slope protection of abutment A replacement, for epoxy injection of concrete cracks, patching of bridge substruction, installation of carbon fiber tightening HTB, high tension bolt, and painting of structural steel, and installation of regulatory signs. Next. So ito pa yung general plan for the slope protection sa abutment A. Next. So ito yung elevation plan for the slope protection din sa abutment A. So makikita niyo po yung details dito. Next. So, ito po, ito yung methodology din sa elevation of existing piers. Please take note of the epoxy injection of concrete bridge sa upper left cracks. Nandyan po yung construction requirements natin, tapos yung description of repair method. So, nakikita rin po dito, kung nababasa nyo or kung if in case, kung sa mga prospective bidders, you can download it here sa PhilJeps. Makikita niya po yung mga work sequence din, tapos mga requirement for the epoxy needed. Next. So, ito rin po yung sa elevation, showing sa loose bolt connection. Nandito rin po yung methodology niya. Tapos kung anong pong tools ang gagamitin. So, tapos yung pag-tightening ng bolts, ano rin po yung requirements of methodology. Next. So, for the elevation of the construction requirements, bridge painting of steel structures. So, ito yung mga steel members natin ng bridge, since ang Sula bridge po is steel bridge. Ito po yung i-maintain din natin. Next. So, ito yun po yung sa signages, yung sa regulatory, yung sa load limit. Since it also includes the updating of the load limit sign. Next. Ito rin po yung requirements sa load limits, yung sa details ng installation and installation. Next. For the traffic management, tapos natin, ito yung mga gagamitin natin for road safety. Please take note of the road safety signage that we need to install. The signages should be, road traffic safety signages should be reflectorized and according to size. Next. So ito yung traffic management plan for the repair of the bridge. Please take note of the setup. Kung paano natin i-set up. Paano po i-set up ng contractor yung traffic management plan natin. Next. So for last and not least, ito po yung yung billboard natin. Standard billboards din po. Anyway, you can download po all the needed plans sa PhilJeps po. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Sir Wiz. So again, bidders, please take all those reminders. So any other additional information ba to discuss with?
I-add ko lang po for all the types of bidding that the Albay First DEO is now using the Republic Act 12009 as our procurement processing. Then please be aware of the NGPA forms, the OSS bid form, the BSD. dapat updated din po kayo doon sa related forms ng Philippine bidding documents. Yun lang po, sir.
Okay,
For
sige.
additional
Thank you so much for the additional information. So, since wala na pong matter to discuss, so anybody now may move for adjournment?
I move to adjourn. Second diminish.
So it's been moved and seconded that the private conference for today be adjourned. So thank you so much, YouTube viewers. Thank you so much. First to our back member, Bacsec or Presently, thank you so much for attending. Good morning again and God bless us.
Okay.